me the fucking camera. God damn it. Is it on? Yeah, okay.
Alright, go ahead and
You don't have these batteries. It's all empty, the battery. Yes, it is. Look at that, it's empty. You've been taping all day, that's right.
No, that's got plenty. That's got plenty left. Trust me. Trust me. Yeah, it lasts. Trust me.
All right.
I'm gonna just do a quick little open mic. I'm gonna tell you two quick stories, anecdotes really, from the 1980s. Because I'm a historian, so I don't really give a fuck about the modern era. I don't care about the TriMet budget fucking crunch. I'll give a shit in 20 years, but right now, I don't give a fuck. So, my stories are from the mid-80s. The first, in high school, we would dread waiting for the bus at night because of the fabled number 13 that would show up on the bus stop. The driver would pull open the door and say, "Come on in, kids. No fare tonight. It's all free." That was the number 13. The second was the TriMet fare inspectors who drive around. We called them the bus stoppo, much like the Gestapo. And our line was they would come onto the bus and say, "Let me see your papers. There is your transfer. Has it expired?" That was the bus stoppo. So those are my two 1980s open mic sessions. Thank you very much. Next, we're going to have Michael Anderson from Portland Afoot come on up, and then it's anybody's game. So let's hear it from Michael.
Alright, maybe this is a remote possibility. Unfortunately, I had someone talk me through it. it was like
I'm going to do a very brief sales pitch, and this is on behalf of TriMet Diaries. If you enjoy tonight's show, you guys enjoy tonight's show? If you enjoyed tonight's show and would like to support TriMet Diaries, you should go to TriMetDiaries.com and you should click on the ad that says Portland Afoot, and you should subscribe that for less than the price of a beer for $14 a year. It will last all year. Dave, Heather, and I will split your money. We will have a party of $1 bills. We'll throw them up in the air. We will buy a pitcher of beer. This comes out as a little tiny 10-minute news magazine. It comes out once a month. It has a story each month from the bus. And I'm going to attempt to recite one from memory. So, wish me luck. This is my favorite that we've ever done. It takes about 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Here it is. It's from a man named Sky, he's a natural performer, so I'm going to try and channel Sky. Sky is a very tall, blonde actor man. And his story begins on the 75. He's talking to his roommate. I'm going to speak in Sky's voice, as I do in the news magazine. Sky says that I've been writing 75 for years, and I've never seen him speak. I've never seen this man speak. He's been riding the 75. I see him all the time, running up 39th Avenue. And he never says a word. But here's what he does instead. He makes the bad juju fingers. You know the bad juju fingers? He'll like stare at you, and he'll, you know the Jedis in Return of the Jedi when they're shooting lightning out of the fingers? It's like that, except without the lightning. And he'll go, and he'll stare at you, and he'll stare you down and be like, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing, man? You're an asshole. Don't make the bad juju fingers at me. I was talking to my roommate, and he said that he knew the same guy. He said, I've seen that guy too. I know exactly who you're talking about. I've seen him like 4 times. And we decided then and there that we had to battle him. We had to battle the Jedi Man on the bus, and we saw him the next day. We were riding the 75 together. There he was. He got on the bus. We knew that this was our time. We were very excited. This was our time. We stood up and we looked at him. And he began to look at us, and we attracted his attention, and he began to do the juju fingers. He began to do this. And he glared at us, and we were like, he's going at it, man. And we met his challenge. We stood up, and we were like, come on, man, let's do it. And we were all going like, it was a battle on the bus, on the 75. We were all doing this. Everybody was watching, and we were going at it. It was fantastic. And he was like, all right. I step up my game, and he was going more intense. And we kept that going. It was a battle. It was back and forth, and then he stopped. It was like he wilted. His arm dropped to his side, and he sat down. And he was silent. And he got off at the next stop. And I've never seen him since. I swear to God, I've never seen him since. Okay, who's next? Because it's time for me to drink, and I don't want to just fucking keep coming up here. Jonathan. So after this, everybody just introduction. Just come on up. But this is our dear friend Jonathan. Surprise Steve. Okay, so this is a story from when I used to work at Mountain Community College in Gresham. It's a pretty far ride on the 20 from where I was living at the time on Colgate and 20th out to Mount Hood Community College, and the 20 doesn't go down to Colgate. I had transferred, but most of the ride was there, and so I had just gotten on it, and like a stop or two down the line, a lady got on, sat down right in front of the young lady, and another guy like came and was like, "Oh, is it okay if I sit here?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay." And he sat down next to her. There's a little bit of a pause, and then he was like, "Hey, what's your name?" And I was like, "Oh God, this is going to be really awkward because I'm going to be sitting here listening to him hit on her for a while, and that's just not how I want to spend this commute." And she was like, "Oh, why do you want to know?" And he was like, "Well, you know, it's cute." And it went on and on and on, and she looked a little uncomfortable at first, and then mostly just really embarrassed. But she was like, okay, and she was telling him her name, and she was kind of like trying, and I was sitting there the whole time thinking, at what point do I intervene? At what point do I intervene? Because I don't want to be, you know, a big like holier than thou, like, hey, don't hit on this woman on the bus, man, in front of me. But you know, there's decorum, there's reasons not to hit on people on the bus, and it got like really weirdly like explicit, and there were times when he was just like, well, you know, how do you like it, and things like that. And I was like, I know, it was fucked up. Like the whole thing was fucked up, and I was a little bit like, okay, fight or flight. Like, am I going to like say like, you do not talk to this woman this way? But no one else on the bus was intervening either. So I was like, okay, is that what's that psychological thing where when there's a group of people, they all don't help out because they think someone else will do it. And that was me. And it went on for like 20 fucking minutes, and it was really, really uncomfortable until finally there's a pause, and then she just like looked him right in the eye and she said, "Sweetie, you're a real asshole," and kissed him and sat on his lap. And I realized that I'd actually been the unwitting audience for a scene that a couple had been doing, where they decided, I guess, to like fuck with everyone on the bus. And I felt a little violated, but I also, you know, kind of admired them because they really went for it, and that was probably one of the most memorable commutes on the 20 that I did. And that's it.
You were 20 when you got Michael Levine!
Tribe's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Everybody put up your hand if you think Tribe's wonderful. My God, you have more hands up than I thought. You ever have any problems with Tribe?
Never any problems, Mike.
You like fair increases and less service. Obviously, put up your hands if you like fair increases and less service.
Yeah, we like fair increases and less service.
Okay, well, people with disabilities, which I am not really blind, and I'm not here to find whatever, I mean, what it is. But we don't have options. We have to ride private. And most people live on living incomes, and I'm sure most people in this room are full-time millionaires. So we all have financial issues. Well, we have even more, so to speak. And all Tribe wants to do is raise fares and service. Look at Neil McFarland, God love him, whatever, $40,000 a year. But he doesn't want to make any changes. All he wants to do is service changes. Bottom line, all kidding aside, Tribe is probably one of the best trained on this in the United States. They truly are. They used to be probably love this, but they're not in it. And we all don't stand up and make sure that they continue what they used to do, we're all going to suffer. And people with disabilities, again, I'm sorry, I don't think you have to just preach about people with disabilities, but TriMet is going backwards. We're going to lose federal funding. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, and TriMet is just not what it used to be. And I'm not sure why you all are like this. You guys are lying here. Arnie, was that you? Arnie, by the way, is one of the cast members committee on accessible transportation, private committee. They're very proactive, and now they're developing private. Please. It's not just because it's huge. Keep all of us. We need to tell TriMet that they care. Keep raising fares. They can't keep cutting the service. Again, TriMet is one of the best, nationally known, it's one of the best transit districts in the United States. And they're falling, and actually, nationally known to be falling. And it's not a good thing. Thank you. A t-shirt.
My name is Arnie. I'm from Detroit. Anybody in here from Detroit? Oh my God. Well, all right. So I've been riding streetcars, and I'm 70 years old. Been riding streetcars and buses a long, long time from Detroit. I moved out here to see what the American dream looks like. Anyway, so I'm on the number 44 because I live in Southwest, and I'm on the bus for about 20 minutes. I'm downtown, and get on, and right across the aisle is a young kid that looks like he's going for a drum lesson. Now you've got a picture. He's got his earphone thing going on, and he's doing this drum kit thing, right? So after I look at this for about 5 minutes, and of course he's listening to his music and he's doing his drum kit, I say, "No bass line, man, no bass line." And he can't hear me, so he takes out the ear, and I said, "Give me a fucking bass drum, man. How can you be a drummer without a bass drum?" Okay, kaboom, 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 kaboom. I said, "Where's the cymbal?" He can't hear me. I said, "The cymbal, the cymbal." He takes off his ear, like, I said, "How can you be a drummer without a cymbal?" Oh, okay. So, oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. I stopped him again. I said, "What about the hi-hat? You know, when they claps like that." So all of a sudden, he's doing the hi-hat, he's doing the cymbal, he's doing the bass drum. Things looking pretty cool. A woman next to me says, "Where's the cowbell?" Listen to what she said. He takes out the thing. Huh? Cowbell. There's not a drummer in the world that doesn't use a cowbell. Okay. Cowbell. I said, wow, this is pretty cool. Anyway, we got 6 people going on, and we came up with triangle, bells, hi-hat, cymbal, bass drum, snares, tom-tom, everything in the kit, but the kit shouldn't sing. When he got off the bus, he waved at us and went off to PSU to learn to be a drummer. The PSU, excuse me, doing this down the street. Thank you very much.
Hey, my name is Joe. I'm the guy who talks about dead whores with Doug. So it is my privilege, it is my duty, and it is my primary source of income to report walking tours. city, and I explained Portland to them. Something I want to say about TriMet is that people from fucking like Topeka or Boise or Houston, they're amazed to even exist. People are walking around in Bus Mall and they're looking at buses, and they are amazed that there is a bus, and people are getting on it, coming out of it, and using it as their primary form of transportation. They are amazed at the very, very being of light rail. This is astounding to them. And so what I want to really drive home is that we live in utopia. It's great. We have like maps and stuff. But when people encounter this wonderful, strange thing, it's called TriMet, they will always ask me how to use it. And they ask me, how do you buy a ticket? And I said, you go to the bus, you give them the money, and they give you a ticket. Or there's a ticket kiosk for the Max. It's right there. It accepts your money, it dispenses tickets. It's a very simple system. They ask, how do I know which Max line is coming? And I say, they have colors on them. The yellow ones have a little yellow light, and the green ones have a little green light. Oh, because I'm from Topeka, and I've never seen this before. And they're amazed. They think it's great. And then they ask me, which Max goes to Voodoo Donut? And I say, just fucking walk. It's over there. And they're like, which Max goes to Powell's? Like, you can just walk, it's right over there. And then they're like, which bus goes up to the Rose Garden? And I'm like, it's the number 68, it'll take you right there. Drops you in front. But yeah, they think it's just the best, most amazing thing ever. And they are wandering around like a small child on psychoactive mushrooms. Their eyes are huge. They're like dinner plates. This is this wonderful thing. And it's like, they're experiencing transportation bliss. And I love it. I love it. Every single day, when I walk around and I take tourists around Portland and they ask me, how the fuck do I use your wonderful, efficient public transportation system? It prevents me from being cynical. It really does. As many weird, drunk, stinky, smelly, weirdo, meth head juggalos might talk to me on a bus or on a Max or something, I always remember, isn't it beautiful that we have something in caves like that juggalos? Isn't it beautiful that I, a fucking North Portland hipster, can sit right next to a juggalo and we can share something? We can share this feeling of public transportation? Isn't that a great kind of we are the world feeling of togetherness? It is! It totally is! And so every single day when I give tourists advice about how to fucking buy a Max ticket, I remember, we have something beautiful. And as many weird, pukey, stinky, drunk people might shove it in my face, I still love it. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Brief section, not even any mention of this, but I'm going to send around this book. If you want to put your email address in here, we'll let you know about other events that are coming up that you will absolutely not want to miss out on. So I'm going to pass it around to you. I'm going to give it to you and have you guys pass it around like the biggest joint ever, and just go ahead and write that down. And now, with that, we'll continue back to the open microphone.
Hello, everyone. So, how many of you have ever sat at the bus stop checking the transit tracker, and the more you check it, the more you notice that the bus keeps saying it's coming later and later and later and later. Yeah. Well, and not only did it disappear, but last week when it snowed, I was waiting up at 33rd Capitol for the 44 bus I take every day. Waiting and waiting and waiting. And then the bus that was after it actually showed up first. And then I had another instance of that today. I was waiting for the 72 to go take my final at PCC Sylvania, or not Sylvania, Cascade. And the longer I kept checking the transit tracker, the longer time the bus kept getting. And the more frustrated I got just to stop. Had no shelter, had no seat. I had to kind of lean against a bike rack to maintain standing for 25 minutes while I was getting run. And I decided, I coined a new term to describe the situation. It's going to be ass to mouth bus. Because the bus that's due 20 minutes after the bus that we're waiting for is so close behind it that it is literally licking the asshole of the bus you are waiting for. So I think this is the thing we need to start doing, all of you on Twitter, every time you're waiting for a bus and it's really, really late. Let's start hashtagging that shit. Ass to mouth bus.
That's a tough act to follow. But, okay, so I'm thinking about the gentleman that presented before the lady that just presented. And he reminded me of why I love TriMet. And it's because of the wonderful people that you meet on TriMet. And my story is kind of sappy and kind of egotistical, but hey, this is my perspective on things, so okay. So there I am, just sitting there, minding my own business, and this lady comes up and she asks me, totally out of the blue, ¿hablas español? I'm like, sí? Hola? I mean, and I actually do speak Spanish, so it was like a really weird welcome, kind of like, oh my God, do I look like a Spanish speaker? Not that that's a bad thing, but I was really happy for it. I was like, awesome. Someone was like, hey, do you speak Spanish? And I was like, yeah, I speak Spanish. And so then we started talking, and she had some questions. She's like, so where does this MAX train go? I just moved to the area. And I was like, oh yeah, blah, 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 telling her all about it, and like Beaverton and the west side, because that's where I live. Beaverton, west side, yeah. Who lives on the west side? Okay, so, hey, I'm here, right? Okay, but yeah, it was a really good, positive experience, and she was telling me about how she moved here from South America, and how she had to learn Spanish when she first came here because her first language was, or her native tongue is a native language of South America, and I was just like, oh my God, this is so interesting, and I love talking to you, and I was so, yeah, okay. So I just love TriMet for the people that you meet on TriMet, and the weird connections that you get, and how that's so awesome and random and awesome. Okay, and then, I had something else I wanted to say, but I'm totally blanking on what it was right now, so I might come back. So I'm going to pass on the mic. Stay for the awesome people you meet at the west side. Okay.
I just want to let you know I have 2 t-shirts left. We've had that many awesome people, so there you go.
Hi. My name's Carl, and I'm a zoo bomber. So I'm one of those people who abuse our transit system to use it as a chairlift, which is to say that I get on the MAX with my little kid's bike and go up to the zoo and I bomb down the hill. And it's a lot of fun. And the best part about it is that the MAX operators are really, really friendly to us. Sometimes they'll get on the PA and they'll say, hey, have a nice run when we get off. And one time even, there was a Transylvanian Orchestra concert that had just gotten out. And so the MAX was packed with people coming back from that concert. And the MAX operator was good enough to introduce us to them and say, you know, concert goers, these are the zoo bombers, they're going up the hill to go bomb. And this is what they do, and we just say hi to them, zoo bombers, please make space for them. It was really great. So I really love MAX operators. This story is actually about a time when the MAX operator had no idea what was going on. I was on this train in Old Town. This guy got on and walked directly up to someone's service animal, his dog, and started barking at it. And then, you know, took a break and was like, hey, could I talk to your dog? And the person was like, yeah, if you wanted. And he continued barking at the dog as we went over the steel bridge and continued east. And then he started harassing other passengers, you know, as we're going across the steel bridge. And he was getting really nasty. And all the time,
time, there's this like IT dude, and that's what I assume he is. He's like wearing all black, this big guy, wearing a utility kilt. And he's sitting there with like 3 slices of pizza on a paper plate, and he's just sitting there, you're just kind of watching what's going on. And he's really getting tired, pretty clearly, of what's going on. And when we pull up to the Rose Quarter, he realizes that this is getting bad. And I only say this in retrospect, because this jumped out at me out of nowhere. I didn't expect this coming. I also volunteer for the Portland International Film Festival, and there's this weird phenomenon there where, unlike other movies that you see, at the end of a PIF movie, people clap for it like it's a live performance. Like, oh my God, good job, Ecuador. So what happened here was this guy was being so obnoxious. He was done barking at the dog. He was now like abusing this woman, just kind of like screaming at her. And the doors opened for the Rose Garden, and he went to step off, and the doors went to close, and he blocked them, and they stayed open. And then they started to close again, and boom, IT dude steps up, walks up to him as he's turned his back to the doors, and right as the doors are about to close, he just shoves him out the door. He falls down, flat out on the pavement, the doors close, and the whole group just erupts into applause. And it wasn't for some filmmaker 2 years ago in Ecuador who made this movie. It was a movie that was right there, it was live, and people loved it. And then he sat down and he ate his pizza. And I really love that guy for that movie.
That's my boss. He's a nice guy. He taught me everything I know about transit. Actually, my name's Ian, and I want to tell you a little story. And actually, Keith over here is going to help me out with it. Hold on a second. So, Carl kind of beat me to it. It's sort of obligatory to tell a bicycle story about transit. Yeah. You know what I mean? It is Portland, right? So where I'm from, I'm which is here, but I'm sort of known as the bike guy a little bit. Everybody knows one, right? You got one at your workplace, that creepy guy who rides a bike all the time. He kind of wears bright colors, into meetings. All right, that used to be me. So before I got to that point, I'm buying her drinks. So, all right. So a number of years ago, I used to be a real part-time bike guy and a part-time bus guy. And I rode the bus a lot. Actually, I rode the bus all the way from Vancouver. Anybody ride the number 5? Remember the number 5? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Interstate looked a lot better under 4 wheels, let me tell you. No, actually, I still love it today. So, I used to ride a lot, and then I decided one day, I should try this year-round biking thing. Let's try this. Somebody said, oh yeah, there's a few people here who think that's funny. So the first year I decided to get really all up on this bike thing. I was a little gregarious about the whole thing. And I'm out riding one night, and I'm real proud of myself for riding my bike home instead of riding transit. I'm thinking, I'm only one flat tire away from getting on the bus, but that's okay. And I'm at the intersection of 7th and Morrison. Do you guys know where that is? 7th and Belmont. I'm at 7th and Belmont. I'm going east. And I'm right there at the intersection, and I lived up at 23rd and Yan Hill, so I'm going straight up Belmont. And I'm thinking, there's a bike lane. It's like midnight. I got this. It's all me. So I look over to my right, and here's this bus just sitting there chilling. Lights on, people on the bus. And this bus, just like this one right here. And we're like this. Hold on, come over here. You're on the wrong side. Whoa. Here, we'll do it this way. Here, yeah. It was just like this, actually. It's just like it. So no, you're good. Oh, yeah, oh, sorry. No, now you're good. So I'm right next to the bus. I'm in the bike lane, and I'm on the bike, and I'm right next to the bus. And I didn't realize the buses, you know they have a PA? Like, they can talk to you out of that thing. And I'm right there, and I hear out of the bus, I hear, "Hey, you on the bike. You want to race?" So normally I'm pretty well there, guys. But this time, I'm not going to say I was drinking, but I said, "I'll fucking take you." So we stare each other down, and then this is better. He gets back on the mic and says, "Hey, everybody on the bus, I'm going to race this guy on the bike." I thought, holy shit, I got an audience. So we fucking take off. I mean, seriously, it was like a drag race. Like that light, I swear there were like 6 red lights all of a sudden. And then, bam, go. Take off. And by the way, I was younger and thinner than I am now. So I'm just fucking cooking. I'm like, and of course. So I get a few blocks. I'm up about, the bowling alley. And he passes me. I'm like, oh shit. I mean, I thought I was made out of diesel, but this guy. So he gets up there, and I'm like, oh shit, he's got to stop. There's a stop between 11 and 12. This is perfect. So he pulls over across me. And I'm hauling ass. And I get up there, and right as I get past him, I hear the bus say, "Just because I have to stop doesn't mean you're gonna win." Well, I beat him to my house, but I'm not really sure I won, because Trimet's pretty fucking awesome. So,
First, just this morning, I had a very lovely, snarky bus driver. This talkative lady gets on the bus and she asks if the number 9 stops anywhere near falling over, anywhere near Union Station, and he says, "Well, we stop there every other week around 5." And she doesn't even bat an eye. She says, "Oh, okay. Well, then I'm going to camp out here on the bus. You've got dinner, right?" And they're just like bubbling. And I was just boring. But what I really wanted to come here and say was to thank a really awesome bus driver. I don't know her name, but this is my way of thanking her. I was out at a movie like late at night at the Academy Theater, and it was a movie that kind of scared me. It's called Marcy named Marlene. It's about a cult, a little bit of rape. And so I was out there by myself waiting for the bus, 1 a.m. and kind of just not feeling the safest. And I get to a transfer on Cesar Chavez on the 9, and I'm waiting on the bus, and this guy comes on, he's very drunk. And the first thing he says is he just starts gay bashing everyone on the bus. And I don't really like using the F word, not fuck, I'm fine with fuck, but the other F word. And he just starts talking about it, and this bus driver, without, saying any, doesn't even let him get on. She just says, "I do not allow gay bashing. Get off." He yells a little bit more, and she just says, "No, you need to get off." And I felt so good because not only was I feeling unsafe, but she had just made this bus a safe place. So I just want to thank her.
Hi, my name is Brock, and I live way out in Lentz, which is a long ways off the road for a lot of people. Anybody who lives on the west side, and anybody who lives in Gresham can sympathize. Anybody else here from Lentz or Brentwood, Arlington? So I take the Max down to Rose Quarter every morning to boost my bicycle commute into work. I live at 92nd and Flayville, give or take, and I work up on Marine Drive around 6th Avenue. So it's about 14 miles from home. When it's sunny, it's awesome. It's a great commute. A lot of time to think. When I come back in the afternoon, there's plenty of time to see town and observe the culture flowing around me. When it's the middle of winter and the sun doesn't come up until like 7 in the morning before daylight savings time turns over, it's no fun at all. So I usually take the Max. This one morning, it's snowing. I think it was a couple months ago, like January-ish, sometime whenever it snowed before. And so I say, I'm going to leave the bike at home and just take the bus in because I don't want to deal with slipping. I don't want to worry about black ice. So I take the 72, which runs from Clackamas Town Center all the way up to Swan Island. And I can transfer from the 72 to the 15 to get me all the way where my school bus is parked. I work for the school district. I drive kids around. So what happens this morning is that I leave the house precisely 10 minutes before the bus is scheduled to arrive. And as I'm walking down Flayville Street towards 82nd Avenue, I see the 72 go right past. It's one of those snow days where TriMet is chained up, and so it's rolling at 20 miles an hour or less, but it just kind of rumbles away. And I'm like, maybe I can catch this. So I light off. I start sprinting down 82nd Avenue, northbound, following the line 72 up towards Duke Street. But even a chain bus at 20 miles an hour is faster than I can run. And the light cycle was not my favorite, so it just trundles off, leaves me behind. The next bus comes not like 10 minutes later, like it's usually scheduled, but about 35 minutes later. So we're all standing there at Duke Street and 82nd, looking at our watches. People are consulting their smartphones. I'm a guy without a phone by choice because I like the slower lifestyle, but that's a time at which you kind of wish you could call your employer and tell them that you're going to be late to work. So I get on the bus. I'm already a half hour behind on my commute, and we're trundling along at 20 miles an hour with James on the bus. And I figure I've got to call. I got to let them know that I'm going to be a little bit late. And so we stop at Gleason, and there is a Burgerville there. I do have an iPhone. It's not hooked up to a cell phone plan. So we're sitting at the Burgerville, and I'm like, maybe I can catch the wireless network and Skype to my employer. So I connect to the Burgerville Wi-Fi, and it's just like, ching, there it is. So I open Skype, and I'm dialing work, and it's kind of like, and they can't understand me, I can't understand them, and the bus leaves, and I'm out of signal again. So there's this big guy sitting next to me, like 300 pounds. And I'm not scared of people, but sometimes people are just intimidating, and I'm thinking, maybe this guy has a phone. And he's kind of scared. So I turn to him and I'm just like, can I borrow your phone? And he's like, sure, here you go. And he just passes it right off. So I call work and let him know I'm going to be late. I get all the way up to Alberta and 15. And that's the point at which you transfer to the Line 8 going northbound towards Marine Drive. And the famous Jubit's truck stop. So as I'm getting off, literally as I'm getting off the 72, it arrives at the precise moment for the number 8 to roll away without me. And this time I say, I am not fucking being this late for work. I'm not going to miss the bus again. So I light off, and I chase it down 15th Avenue. And I'm running as hard as I can. I'm seeing the bus up there impossibly far ahead of me. And it's sitting at a red light in Williamsburg, and I'm saying, can I make it? I have no idea, and I'm panting. I'm not ashamed. It's winter. I don't exercise outside the bicycle riding. I'm a fat ass. And so I'm just running as fast as I can, thinking this is hopeless. I'm going to be tired and late and probably maybe even I'll lose my job. Who knows? But as I run, the red light miraculously stays red. The bus sits there. And so I run harder and faster. And I finally get up, exhausted and panting, and I look at the bus driver through the doors of the bus. He kind of looks over at me, nonplussed, swings the door open.
Brock ran from Jubitz to 15th and Killingsworth. This guy's a fucking superhero, man. Talking about how fat he is. Fuck you, Brock. Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm not that gay, but what are you doing next weekend? A little bit gay. Just a little bit. Any other stories? We've yet to hear a Trivet blowjob story. Oh, Jesus. No more alcohol for the number 13, please. Any other stories for us tonight? Oh, wait. We're not quite done. Was it the blowjob that kind of keyed you in? Okay.
My name's Stephen. I live downtown. And it was.
Closer with the mic.
I'm sorry, what? Close to the mic. How's that? Okay, so my name's Stephen. I live downtown. I actually live on 4th Avenue in Washington Star, which is sad for me, guys know. But I was just going to tell you, one morning I go to this meeting that starts at 6:30 a.m. Somebody might have an idea about my supposed to. So anyway, first bus at 15. I'm going. It stops at Washington and Fifth. And it's kind of an opposite story to the one that was just told. And I'm going to say, I love TriMet. I have friends who live in Alabama, which is also, I'm originally from Southern California, but lived in Birmingham, Alabama for a while. And when I first moved out here, he said, man, I heard they've got one of the best transportation systems. And I said, it's amazing how great a system it is. But anyway, this particular morning, the first bus in the morning at 5th and Washington. So I'm actually a little late. And it's not that far a distance, but I can't run because of an injury. And sometimes I just say, fuck it. I'm not going to make it, oh well, just wait for the next bus. But this particular bus is one I need to take because I was a speaker at this meeting. And so anyway, I'm walking to catch up, get the bus, and the bus takes on the passengers, and then, are you okay? Still got your beard? Okay, so anyway, I get to the bus, and he had just pulled out, but it was a red light. And so I stood at the door and went, and he looks at me, and he turns away. And so then I knock on the door, and I say, come on, flip him on. Somebody else had said, double flip on. And I also shouted as loud as I can, you motherfucking piece of motherfucking shit. And everybody on the bus clapped.
My name is Brendan. I'm a TriMet bus driver, and I would have opened the door for you. There's been a lot of nice things said about drivers, and I wanted to say a little story about what's great about the passengers. Right now I'm driving the 8 and the 94, and before I drove the 6 and the 6 and the 35, and despite people always said, oh, the 6 is a horrible route, the passengers are awful, and I've also driven the 72, and it's commonly referred to as the Jerry Springer bus. But both buses have gone fine, and I haven't had any major issues. Except during training, the guy who was training me was driving the 72, and this guy was giving him a hard time, and wouldn't get off the bus and started closing the door on the guy repeatedly. And that didn't really calm him down at all. It just sort of made him more upset. But he did eventually get off. Anyway, the story I wanted to tell was I was driving the 35, and it was right after that snow a few months ago. And TriMet gets a little freaked out when it snows and puts chains on every bus. And they didn't have chains on this bus though, because it had the automatic chains. But I get out there on McAdam near Selwood Bridge, and there's a tree down across the entire road. So I have to turn around, and I call dispatch to say the road's blocked. And start going back, and I figure I'm just going to let everyone off at Lake Oswego. And then as soon as I get to Lake Oswego, they say, oh, we have a reroute for you. Just go up and around this block. I'm going around this other way. And so I'd already gotten to Lake Oswego, so I have to turn around, and I end up going down a street I shouldn't have gone down, and then have to go around this roundabout that the bus doesn't really fit around, so I have to back up 3 or 4 times, have to go around this truck that's blocking the way, and then eventually get back to the reroute, stop deadlocked with traffic the whole way. So a trip that should take about 10-20 minutes ends up taking 2 hours from Lake Oswego to downtown. Not one complaint from one passenger. And at the end, everyone thanked me and said, thanks for your patience, thanks for my patience. So thanks for guys.
Hello, everyone. Hello. My name is Jacob, and I have a story. It's about snow. Well, more like black ice. It seems like winter is TriMet's kryptonite. And to try to solve their issue with the ice and snow, and you put a lot of effort in TriMet alerts and, putting chains on all the buses. Well, I had to commute where I had to take the 12. I had to walk half a mile to the bus stop. It wasn't too bad. It wasn't too slippery out. But all the buses were chained, and there was black ice probably on the streets. So eventually I had to wait in the cold for a bus, and the transit tracker wasn't really helping me very much. And I was just wondering, where the hell is my bus? Do you know Al Carl? Where's my bus? So I waited a little bit, and just getting more and more frustrated, and I decided to take a walk. I walked about another half a mile from one bus stop to the other, the opposite way of where I needed to go. I was going east. And you wanted to go east to go downtown, so I take the max. And I found a bus stop that actually had a shelter, because the ones before were just full. And that's a lie. Anyways, sorry, the one stop had a shelter, one I usually go to, but the next one didn't, and the next one didn't. I finally found another one with a shelter, and there were some people waiting there, and they were pretty frustrated. They were like, where the hell is this bus? I'm be back to work. I didn't want to be late to work. The place I was working at, they use a point system, and if you're late too many times, you get booted, so I didn't really want that to happen. So, it's getting really close to when it would be possible for me to take a later bus and get downtown in time to catch the max so I can go to work and be within. And the time passes. And the only other bus that goes down Barber is an express bus, and I saw 2 of them pass by. They don't usually do that. I usually only see one right before my bus. The fact that I saw 2 express buses go by wasn't as good a sign. I mean, they don't run that often. It's a couple times a day.
Nobody disputed that. Nobody disputed that.
So I got frustrated and I'm panicking. I don't want to be late to work. I hadn't been late once. I hadn't even taken any sick days anyway. So
I know both sides.
I guess I gotta pay $30 and call a taxi. I think Radio Cab must have made a lot of money. There are people like me waiting for bus stop to show up. As the cab finally gets there, and
yeah, I got to enjoy it.
Suddenly, the phone shows up, and another one, and another one. done. There were 5 or 6 12 all in a row for the bus parade. I couldn't believe my eyes, but the thing was I would have avoided being taken anyway. So, in conclusion, bus parade.
Well, this is a very anecdote. What do you talk about? Your son was taken to be 15 from, what was then PGE Park to Fort and Belmont. And pretty unusual. Except one day I got on the bus and this is the story actually that TriMet either learns or has imaginative people who come up with really interesting ideas, but unlike some bureaucracies, they're able to get over them if we turn out to be really bad ideas. And maybe the 13 Gresham could illustrate this. I'm not sure I can remember the language. But this particular day, I got in the bus, and the bus leaves the mountain and turns left on Lincoln. And the bus turned left on Lincoln. It just turned left on Lincoln, and then it went across the bridge. And it got at a stop at Belmont. And when it pulled out the stop, there was a technical voice that said, and maybe some of you will remember this if you were on that bus,
The bus is turning left. The bus is turning left. Please pay attention. The bus is turning left.
because there had been some deaths associated with turning buses. And the bus wasn't actually turning left, the bus was just coming out of the bus stop.
So we all know exactly here it is, the automatic trigger that just like anything. And so that's what happens as you went through all the stops. You would pull out a clock, bus turning left, bus turning left. Please don't get on the bus. Number 13 Gresham, do you remember what that guy said?
It's supposed to just take that.
The thing is, for several weeks, we were all disconcerted by the fact that the bus was warning people.
I'm on it! That's not game.
There it is. The bus kept warning people that was doing something that it wasn't doing.
You're sitting down. You're sitting down.
Well, apparently things not automatic. She sort of like that process. But the thing was, the bus needed to do that. If we were all sort of freaked out because this much and it cost $22 million to install warning systems on all the buses. But we were just looking to warn people that they were pulling into the lane and they weren't turning left. But here's the thing. Trying to figure out install rules in all the
No idea why that, but I told him.
Hey everyone, my name is Evan, and I've got a little story to I ride. I ride the bus and taxi very much the bus. So I've seen a few things. Mostly sort of sad. Max over at Goose Hollow, and there's this kind of sketchy guy walking around. He had a cowboy, like kind of jackal seizures, and all the flares coming off the side. And it was raining outside. And he was just going around singing, "Are you operating in the rain?"
No.
And he was like,
Real. Just real. You can find that.
One side of the platform over the next.
I'd like you to check for me.
He saw back from on the other side, ran across the guy. That's the way it is. One interesting story. I use this bus as a prop here. I was on one of the
the buses going on downtown up to Goose Hollow. And I was just right along, usually I'm reading the book or something. And it's trying to pull out of stop over at 12th and Jefferson. And this bus stop is right on the right side of a bike lane, and it's otherwise a right turn only. So the bus has to merge across the bike lane and get into the traffic. Yeah. So, right here, the bus is in the bus stop, and the bus is about to go. You need to merge over to the left, and whoa! Stops. What happened? So, what did happen was, there's a bike right over here. The biker wasn't going. I'm trying to go. And then boom! You're telling me all. And the bus missed the light. It turned red right after that. So,
she posted this morning, she said, try to tell your drivers that it's TFU. I want to hear the rain report as I'm going through the tunnel. She does it again tomorrow because it's like everything different combinations for getting the weather.
Hello, guys. I have one more story. This is pretty memorable that happened to me recently. By the way, my name's Amanda. I don't know if any of you have experienced at least attempted driving on Max, but I've experienced a couple. And so this one night I was sitting on the Max, exhausted. My mind was very young and confused because I just got out of Spanish class. And I was sitting on the Max with my friend from class.
You're right about this camera.
We were both discussing how very tired we were. And then all of a sudden the guy sitting across from us explains